is happening for Kenyans living in South Africa, where Kenyans who are willing to be repatriated from South Africa have until Tuesday next week to register and avail themselves for vetting, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. With 266 Kenyans having arrived so far, the government is now targeting to evacuate more Kenyans safely. Stanley Nyaringita has more details on that story.
As Simon Shage stepped onto Kenyan soil after 22 years of living in South Africa, he was in deep thought. Following anti-immigrant protests in the country, Shage was forced to leave behind his South African wife, 4 children, and his business.
For her, even she's not safe today because she's married by a foreigner. The kids are not safe. Though they are South Africans, they are not yet safe because they are called under my surname. They are using my surname. So it is difficult for them, even for now. I don't know what will be the next step for me and them.
Shage was among 60 Kenyans who arrived in Kenya on Friday evening, with many recounting how, despite having valid passports, they were unable to continue working.
Vitu ni mingi tumeacha huko kwa sababu yake, hata hapo nilikuwa nafanyia kazi, saa hii sijui mahali huko, sijui ama walivamia wakafuja, sijui ama walivuja nyumba, juu tulikuwa na matarajio tunaweza rudi.
Nilikuwa nakaa miaka 15. Nilikuwa nikivumilia tu, lakini nilikuwa nikuhangaika tu kila wakati. Hata hii macho nilipigwa juzi, wiki iliyopita nilipigwa, sasa sioni vizuri. Nikaangalia simu, maji inatokea, sioni vizuri.
Hallelujah, Kenya, here I come from South Africa. Hey, 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 hey.
This comes as some Kenyans allege a deliberate system, allegedly coordinated by government officials, to deny foreign nationals proper migration documentation.
But so long as you're an African nationality, from wherever country, they will stop you. Officials will come, government officials, even with uniform, in broad daylight. They demand kickbacks, money. So the system is so much corrupt that even if you don't stand for corruption, you are forced.
We didn't have our right paper. We got passport, but what they need is work permit. So getting work permit is matata.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced July 9th as the deadline for the vacation exercise, with Kenyans urged to register with the Kenya High Commission in Pretoria and present themselves for vetting no later than Tuesday. Stanley Nyaringita, TV 47.
Sure. It's a devastating situation. We are hoping that we get a solution pretty soon. Meanwhile, leaders allied to the Kenya Kwanza coalition have warned former President Uhuru Kenyatta against what they described as continued attacks on President William Ruto, urging him to retire from active national politics. The remarks were made as Kenya Kwanza leaders intensify their political activities in Western Kenya region. Meanwhile, a split in Mount Kenya region is taking shape to divide the region's vote ahead of 2027. Paul Kirobi tells us more.
Western Kenya and the Mount Kenya region have emerged as key political battlegrounds ahead of President William Ruto's 2027 re-election bid, with the Kenya Kwanza leaders intensifying campaigns in the areas for a second consecutive day. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale have warned Kenyatta against what they termed continued attacks on President Ruto. Speaking during a fundraising event aimed at purchasing land for Kimangeti Technical Institute, CS Aden Duale accused the former head of state of political jealousy over what he described as Ruto's achievements within 4 years in office.
Ile kazi, UHC, universal health coverage, Rais Kibaki alishindwa. Uhuru akashindwa. Affordable housing, Kibaki alishindwa.
Speaker Wetangula also revisited the 2022 general election, stating that President Ruto faced strong opposition from what he referred to as the dynasty, but still won the support from Kenya Kwanza leaders.
Alikuwa naibu wa rais, lakini alikuwa amekataliwa na serikali, wakamwambia sisi ni deep state, sisi ni system, tuko na polisi, tuko na central bank.
Meanwhile, a section of leaders from Mount Kenya region under the Mount Kenya caucus continued mobilizing support for President Ruto's re-election, while also dismissing the influence of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua in regional negotiations. Former MP Moses Kuria questioned Gachagua's role in political representation.
If within 2 months tunaweza kuvuruta 10 billion to our region, then it's an indictment that this guy cannot hunt for our community.
However, CS Kinyanjui cautioned against division within the region, calling for unity among leaders and residents.
Or any other part of the country, I think we want to say in very simple terms that we are one people, and if we have any issues, we'll be able to address them on a platform of unity.
In Western Kenya, leaders argue that the region was neglected during the previous administration of Uhuru Kenyatta. Leaders from the region further called on residents to rally behind the president ahead of the 2027 general election, emphasizing unity among the Luhya community and continued support for his leadership. Paul Kirobi, TV47.